Yeah, and he's had 2 difficult games. I think that anybody finds it difficult to find space against Arsenal. And obviously up at Newcastle on Monday night, he must have felt like a tornado had hit him. I mean, it was like a whirlwind up there, that game. It was incredible. So I can understand why that's just what the hell was that? I can imagine however they got back from St James's Park on Monday night. Wirtz is probably thinking, bloody hell, that's the Premier League. But it's interesting thinking about him, and you asked me about him in the first half, and I was watching him quite a bit in the second half because Liverpool had the ball at the back. And I'm thinking, sometimes you hear expressions, don't you, by coaches, and sometimes you say, he's always on the move. And I'm watching Wirtz, and he's always on the move. And I'm thinking, bloody stand still for a second. The opposite. I'm thinking stand still. I'm watching him there sort of like drift between the lines. I'm thinking he's probably moving a bit too quick. Because I always think sometimes when you're playing in the pocket and in the hole, and I used to see it from a different side. I used to see it from being a defender, and there might be a player that you can see just drifting in the pocket. And I used to think that when they were moving, it caught the eye of the defenders, it caught the eye of the midfield players, and they were easier to mark. I always thought when they just walked and drifted sometimes and they looked disinterested, and then all of a sudden they made a quick movement, that was when you got done in the pocket. So there's 2 things. One, I think he's jogging across the line, and he can't then really sort of fool or kid people when he gets on the ball. So that's just a little bit of, a little bit of sort of smartness and intelligence. And then the other thing is, I think just the element of being higher up the pitch by 5 or 6, 7 yards and not going too deep. That means that the midfield players for the opposition can pick you up easily and just shield in front. Almost feel like the centre-backs want to come in to get you rather than it actually be the central midfield players are marking you. I think, to me, they're the 2 things that, look, I'm not a coach, but I think I pretty much know what would cause me a problem. I played against the likes of Gianfranco Zola and Bergkamp and Del Piero for Juventus, those types of players, Zidane, that don't play in those areas. And when they walk in, you're thinking, right, what's he going to do? He's trying to kid me here. Is he going to make a movement left? He's going to make a movement right? He's going to go deeper? He's going to make a run through? You don't know what he's going to do when they're walking or when they're looking a little bit disinterested. When they're jogging, it's actually harder then to turn and change direction. You just know what I mean? So for me, I just think he maybe is a little bit predictable at this moment in time, maybe a little bit deep, but it's very early in his Liverpool career. But I think there'll be Liverpool fans, there'll be 50, 60,000 in here today, and there'll be Liverpool coaches thinking, okay, he needs a bit of coaching. He's not the finished article at 115 million. He's a young lad. He needs work. He needs coaching. He needs and he's got the right man there in Arne slot because he does get the best out of players. So yeah, I just think 2 very tough games to play in. He's shown glimpses, but I think there's an element of him fitting in. And if he has Isak up front, in front of him, and Ekitike, obviously, in terms of either of them, but if Isak comes in, I mean, they're going to score an absolute bucket load of goals.